Now, I'm going to be honest. Getting a jawline, a defined jawline, that is honestly as simple as it can get. You just have to know what the heck to do. A lot of people have no clue what the heck to do. They go over the YouTube and, a bunch of people are suggesting different things, thumb pulling, mewing, and all this stuff, which I'll get to, but it's as simple as losing weight. Now, the reason I say losing weight is because when you lose weight, a lot of people have it in their head that okay, you lose weight in the stomach. First of all, when you lose weight or lose fat for that matter, you lose fat everywhere around your body. It's just that obviously that you may lose more fat in certain areas than the other, but the whole key to getting a good jawline or getting a good facial structure as a whole is to lose weight. I'm not asking you to be skinny, but lose weight or lose fat to the point where you're lean enough to get a jawline. Now, I know there are things like mewing and thumb pulling and stuff which we'll get to, but I promise you right now, none of those are going to be anywhere close to beneficial if you don't lose enough weight to actually have a jawline by yourself. Now, are there people who is going to be lean and still not have a jawline? Sure, but that is a very, very small percentage of people. Let's say 600 people are watching this, maybe 20 of them, not even 20, maybe 10%, maybe 10 people out of those 600 may struggle to have a jawline even after losing weight. But the truth is, if you lose weight, you will start to notice definition in your jawline. It's inevitable. Now, obviously, it's like you're not gonna have a defined jawline when you speak and stuff. For example, if I'm speaking and stuff, obviously, like my neck is gonna start moving. But as long as you're able to put your tongue to the top of your mouth and you see a jawline, that is a defined jawline. Yeah, losing weight is the most important thing. Start to get lean. Now, what are you gonna do? I'm not going to go into building muscle and stuff, but if you just purely want to get lean, I mean, if you want to build muscle and stuff, there's another section in my course. You can go check it out. Losing weight, gaining muscle, everything is there. But when it comes to losing weight, all you need to focus on is two things: cardio and a calorie deficit. Honestly, you just need to focus on a calorie deficit. It's just that when you add cardio, it becomes a bit easier. But let's say you're eating 2,400 calories every single day on average. You want to drop that to about 2,100 or even 2,000 calories, and you will start to lose weight over time. This is gonna get you help to get a defined jawline. This is the most important thing. The other stuff that I'm gonna tell you in this video is it'll work, but it's not going to be anywhere near beneficial if you don't lose weight. First of all, losing weight and getting that basic definition is the most important thing. I got a jawline the moment I lost weight. Obviously, the stuff that I did after, which I'm going to tell you right now, helped, but like 90% of it, in all honesty, is just losing fat, getting rid of fat in that area for your jawline to actually come and show. Now, breathing. You might think, what the heck does breathing have to do with your jawline? It has to do with a lot. The reason I say that is a lot of people, including me, about maybe 2 years ago, until about 2 years ago, we breathe from our mouth. It's not even something that we notice. We just randomly, we're just sitting and we're like, you just keep your mouth open. I see people when they go to sleep, their mouth is open. Stop breathing with your mouth, start breathing with your nose. This is one of the biggest. This can honestly change your whole face shape. I'm not exaggerating that one bit. Over a period of time, if you consistently start breathing through your nose the way you're actually supposed to, I promise you it'll change your face shapes. Most of your face shapes are absolutely freaking cooked purely because you're breathing from your mouth. You're not supposed to be breathing from your mouth. You're supposed to be breathing from your nose. Your nose is there for you to breathe. Your mouth is there for other reasons. But stop breathing from your mouth. It is absolutely ruining your face. For any one of you who may think that this is a very negligible step, if you think this is negligible, it's going to continue ruining your whole face. That is breathing from your mouth, and you're going to get nowhere. Sure, losing weight may help, but again, another crucial part is to start breathing from your nose. You're supposed to breathe from your nose, not from your mouth. And one thing I would usually recommend is getting some nose strips. Nose strips is basically, you might have seen some freaking entrepreneurs on YouTube do it. You usually place it right here, and it will help your nose breathe better. If you can breathe perfectly fine through your nose, continue. But if you try, because a lot of people have been they may struggle to breathe with the nose just purely because they've been so used to breathing with their mouth. Now, when you get these nose strips, it'll let the airflow be a lot more smoother into your nose, out of your nose. Start breathing with your nose. It'll make the world of a difference over a period of time. That is, it should not even be whether you want a good jawline or not. You should be breathing from your nose regardless, but it'll help, of course, help you with the jawline as well. Now, chewing gum. Now, I know a lot of people, there are literally gums that, like chewing gums that you can go and buy that's meant to define your jawline. But I'll say chew any gum that you want, minimum 3 hours a day. 3 hours on most days. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, even 20 minutes is fine. No, you want to chew it for as long as you possibly can, because this is what I've done. And when I started chewing gum, it wasn't to actually boost my jawline or define my jawline even more. It just naturally happened. I started, chewing gum. And I noticed over a period of time, it actually helped this part, literally like this part of the jaw. I don't know if there's a name for it. It literally grew it. It became bigger over time. And when it becomes bigger, it means that it's more defined. Start chewing gum, any gum that you want, for at least 3 hours a day, and I promise you, you will see a big difference as well. This is a lot. This is basically exercise for your jaw to start growing. So let's say you've lost the weight here. It's a lot like literally anywhere in your body, your arms, your stomach, you lose fat there, and then you go to the gym, you build up muscle there. That's the exact same thing that the chewing gum is going to do. You lose fat here, and then you get that basic definition. You start chewing gum, it's going to enhance that definition. The jaw muscles are going to grow and become bigger. I know it's not going to become ridiculously bigger if any of you're concerned. It's going to be big enough to the point where it's going to grow it big enough to the point where it'll actually be defined. These are the three things you need to do that will help you get a jaw. And the reason I'm not going to talk about stuff like mewing and thumb pulling and stuff, I personally don't believe it works. As in it may work, but like the difference is absolutely negligible. It's not something I'm going to sit here and ask you to 30 minutes a day put your freaking fingers in your mouth and do all this fancy stuff. I don't believe in it. I think you can get 99.999% of the results by just doing these three things, especially getting lean. That's going to be the biggest difference. And obviously, starting to breathe through your nose and chewing gum will also help. And mewing is something, in my opinion, that you will naturally. Mewing is basically just placing your tongue to the roof of your mouth. So you don't, when you're sitting, you don't sit like this. You sit like, do you see the difference? Just look at my jaw versus that's mewing. So you basically take your tongue and then place it at the roof of your mouth. So basically, like, you do a swallow and then keep your mouth in that position. So that is mewing. And obviously, you can do this over time, but I mean, it looks good in photos and stuff, but it's not like the more you mew, the better jawline you're gonna have. It's not gonna work like it's not like you just keep your mouth in a certain way. It's gonna stay like that forever. That's not how it works. That's just it's something that may look good for photos and stuff. That's a good trick that you could use. Have your jawline more defined or to show off your jawline, but it's not something that's gonna actually help you build your jawline, which is what this is about. So lose weight, get to a stage where you're lean. Again, I don't mean you need to get skinny, just lean enough to the point where you feel like, okay, I actually have a jawline. And next is start breathing through your nose and then start chewing gum. These three things are going to make the world of a difference. And when it comes to genetics, I want to touch up on this. Genetics, does it play a role? um, I think it does play a role, but I think it's, for most of you, it's just a matter of actually putting in the work. If you ask me, 6 years ago when I was a fat, chubby, overweight kid, I would have said, yeah, genetics play a huge role. That's why I don't have a jawline. That's why I'm fat. Now, if you ask me, I'd say maybe it does not play as much of a role. So it's honestly just a preference thing. If you're fat, you're gonna say that it does. If you're not fat, you're gonna say it doesn't. Um, Even if it does or not, the best thing you can do is to put your effort in and then let genetics do whatever, right? Genetics are not in your control, but you know what you can do. You can lose weight, you can start breathing through your nose, and you can start chewing gum. Do these three things and you will build up a good jawline. How long does it take? Honestly, a lot depends on how long it takes for you to lose weight. And that can be anywhere from 3 months to 6 months to a year. Go again, check on other sections of how to lose weight. That will give you more of an explanation on that. But it's pretty much how long it takes to lose weight, and then the remaining things you do over the period of time, you will build up your jaw. It'll be a lot more defined. And when it comes to again, all these things that I've mentioned, it's not like you do it for 2 months and then stop and you're gonna have your amazing jawline for the rest of your life. No, when you lose the weight, you need to keep that weight off. When you keep chewing gum, you need to keep chewing gum. When you start breathing through your nose, you need to keep breathing through your nose for the rest of your life. It's not like you breathe through your nose for 1 month and then you can go back to and then you could just it's gonna be fine. No, it's not gonna be fine. You need to practice these things for the rest of your life. It'll make the world of a difference. And if you want more tips and advice, go and click on the link in the bio or the description. It'll take you to my full guide on LOOKSMAXING. It'll teach you everything about improving your skin, your hair, your physique, literally everything that you want, how to style your hair, everything. Click on the link if you want. Bye.